to the Dialog Rugby League broadcast brought to you on www.ThePapare.com, Dialog TV Channel 1 and on my TV. Second week of Club Rugby A Division League, and we are here at Police Park to bring you the game where Police is taking on Kandy Sports Club. Kandy travelling for the second time to Colombo. They will want a better results than in their opening game. They were largely unimpressive in that opening game. On the other hand, Police will be looking for their first win, and joining me in commentary box is Paul Toya and Dinuk Bhaskaran. Welcome, Paul.
Thanks, Sarashna, and hello viewers. Thanks for joining us here at Police Park. It's a beautiful day. The ground looks in perfect condition. It might be a little bit hard, but look, there's a little bit of wind to talk about. There's no clouds in the sky. It's going to be a dry track. It looks like it's a perfect day for Police to get on the scoreboard at least. They didn't trouble the scoreboard last week. But I'd imagine today they're going to come out with a mindset where they're going to go and try and get points straight away.
Definitely. Second game at home grounds. There go the two captains, Gayan Veeraratna, and for Police, it's their hooker, Rasita Silva, taking charge of the team. And Police, without the contracted players, they will always find it difficult this season. Now they are getting a taste of what Air Force had all this time.
Yeah, and it's a brave move initially if you think of it deeply. But yes, they've gone with the real policemen, you call the cops, and they're testing their squad that they have with them, and it'll be a good outcome. Maybe in 3 or 4 years, they'll gradually see what police rugby stand up, and then you have a couple of school players as well, as you can see the weather report.
The weather for today, this evening, 28 is the temperature, so that should be very pleasant, given the fact that this is Colombo. And wind, there is a slight wind, as Paul mentioned, and 82% humidity. That will be what the players are concerned about. But talking about Police, yes, Dinuk, new couple of good school players coming in, and also Shamli Nawaz taking on the coaching responsibilities.
Yeah, he's a very experienced coach, isn't he? He was with CRNFC before, had coached a couple of school teams as well, so he knows exactly how it works. He will try and build this team over the next 2 to 3 years, bring them up, maybe finish 6th, 7th in this season, and then slowly moving on to the top half of the table will be his plan going on.
Absolutely. And Paul, we were talking about the game yesterday. Maori All Blacks losing out to the French Barbarians. That would have been a very historic win for the French Barbarians.
Yeah, look, the French Barbarians did well. They played Barbarian style rugby to start the game with, and in the first half they threw the ball around a lot. There was lots of ball movement, and it looked really good. But as soon as they got their nose in front, with probably about 20 minutes to go, they took the points and tightened the game up a lot. And you could see how much it meant to them beating a New Zealand All Black team, even though it was the All Black Māoris. It still meant a lot to them. The Māoris didn't look like they were gelling together as a team. There were lots of turnovers. They had 18 turnovers each in the game, both France and also the Māori All Blacks. But the Māori All Blacks had 11 handling errors, so they couldn't actually build any real pressure. They couldn't hold on to the ball. There was a couple of controversial moments as well. The Māori All Blacks were awarded a penalty try and a yellow card for the French player that got sent off. The French team ended up coming back, and they held on for a huge win for them. And the Bordeaux crowd, it was packed in Bordeaux. Complete sellout. They couldn't get people into the stand quick enough before the haka started, and it's Armistice Day in Europe as well, so it was a big occasion for them, and it was a great day for rugby.
It's a beautiful stadium in Bordeaux that was packed, and would have been a brilliant atmosphere there. But tonight it'll be over to the All Blacks to avenge that defeat and make sure that they continue the 17-game streak, winning streak in France. We'll leave it there for about the international rugby, but let's come back to the Club Rugby League. Kandy Sports Club is coming into the second game, like we spoke earlier, Dinuk, after a very unimpressive win against CHNFC, 23 points to 6, and in the second half they only scored one penalty. what will their mindset be here?
Yeah, look, wow, that team was not together before. If you see the Western Asia trophy that they played, and also we'll come back to that after the police team cut.
Here you go. This is the lineup for police. Lahiru Pavitra Rasit Silva, Danushka Edirisuriya, Romesh Acharige, Udara Saurya Perima. Those two locks are very experienced policemen playing in this team. Wajid Fawmi, the schoolboy who's turned into a very formidable third row player. Shanaka Harishchandra, Sajid Seram, Hashan Gomes acting as the number 9, and former Patriot Sandesh Jayavikrama taking on the important number 10 jersey. Roshan Silva, Lahiru Guru Singh, Jani Chandimal is going to be a man to watch out for. Sujan Koditawakko and Utpala Edirisinghe making up the police, playing 15 with the replacements Fernando Silva, Dayanath, Jayasundara, Kasun, Chanaka, and Zahid Singh Wansa and Gihan Silva making the police bench. Let's take a look at the much awaited Kandy lineup. Here you go. Ali Muhammad Uchita Jayasuriya gets a very rare start, and Ganuka Disanayaka, Soiru Anthony, Heshan Silva, Jason Disanayaka, Tarindu Chaturanga and Bhuvanek Udangamu. No Shehan Patrina due to the ban he received. Srinath Surya Bandara in the number 9 jersey. No Rushan Veeratna, he's having trouble with his ligament. No Fasil Marija. Nigel Ratwate comes into the number 10 jersey. Richard Dharmapala, Gayan Veeratna, Danushka Ranjan, Anuruddha Velbara and Thilna Vijay Singh. That back line hasn't changed. The replacement, Disanayaka, drops to the bench. Attanagoda Sanushka Abe Vikrama getting his first Kandy jersey. Former Trinitian Jayavardhana, Arshad Jamal in Lavanga Perere and Dayan Danush. Kandy basically showing off the depth that they have in their squad.
Yeah, this is probably the second 23 that they'll put in the squad, if not for a couple of players there, and that's how strong they are. And if as I said before, if you take the Western Asian Championship and also that Singapore game, they tested a lot of these players who are in today. And the first game that they played was all experienced players in that lineup against CH, which didn't have enough game time to gel together, and that's where they lost the plot. And CH was all out to win that game. They did everything possible except for putting on points, and that's where they went wrong. The first 30 minutes of that game was a cracking start of the game. CH couldn't capitalize on what they did off that, but Kandy will be all out to improve on their performance.
But talking about that, Paul, can Kandy actually be excused of the fact that they haven't had enough time to get the same team playing the pre-season games? Because it's Kandy Sports Club we are talking about, and also they played with 2 international teams, and they come to Colombo, a team against a team like CH and FC. They only put 3 points in the second half. Can it be excused?
Oh, look, I think that if you look at international teams that have a lot of depth, what they look at when they come against teams that they expect to come and win and come and get a result at, those teams, you'll see that the reason why they don't score points and the reason why they don't do well, even in a half, is because they don't respect the opposition enough. If you show respect to the opposition, doesn't matter what team you put out, then you're going to play to your full potential. If Kandy plays their full potential, it doesn't really matter who they put out, they're going to be very difficult to beat. So they'll have to make sure they do that as well. Regardless of who they put on the paddock, look, you've got a lot of internationals in the back line, so I don't know why everyone's saying this is their second 23. There's some great players that are playing, but it's the attitude, it's the champion attitude that they'll bring that makes the difference.
Absolutely. There you go. The two teams have lined up for the official introduction.
Yeah, look, that was a perfect kick, wasn't it? It's all about the time in the air and the distance that it goes. It's an excellent clearance as well there, but he was taken back in. There's a penalty from referee Carter. Players going over the top, I think.
Yeah, good start for Kandy Sports Club. Lovely receive from that kick-off, and then they put that high kick in. Ali Mohammed taking that first hit to the line. And then, as you said, Sudarshan, Gayan Veeratna just trying to show that team that this game is up for them, and he means this game is takes this game very seriously, chasing that kick down, making up the first tackle.
Gayan Veeratna will be one of those players to keep an eye out on this season, because yes, he is 29 years of age, but that man likes to lead from the front and show you what he's capable of, playing in the center position. Police with the line out, no problems. Jayavikrama Sends it out to his center.
Stay.
Police with first possession, first real possession, are yet to come out of their own half.
No.
Jai Vikrama now has space on.
Ratwat has Ranjan on the outside of him. A lovely inside pass to Tilna Vijay Singh, who will score the first try for Kandy Sports Club. That was a bit too easy for the Lions from the Hill Capital. Coming down, a couple of quick passes on the outside of the experienced sevens and a lot of 15 players. They are just touching the ball right throughout, scoring on the corner. Tilna Vijay Singh will try to convert his own kick now.
Yeah, so that was an excellent work try there, but it was all done by the initial movement in the middle of the park. Here we see, and actually this is the end of it where we were just seeing Dharmapala, I think that was, passing back inside. Wilwata, he just passed back on the inside, and but it was all done by one of the big players that took the ball up through the middle. They sucked in the defence. One of the centres actually got caught coming in, and then you had 4 numbers on the outside against 2. So when you have 4 numbers and they're all 4 men from Kandy, you're really looking at standing behind the goalpost and waiting for a conversion.
Absolutely on spot, Paul. It was Heshan Silva, the big lock forward, who straightened things up and sucked in 3 to 4 defenders to commit to him, who opened up the gap on the outside. Tilna Vijay Singh, the second highest point scorer, is very unlucky this time. Hits the upright from a difficult angle. 5 points to nil. Kandy Sports Club straight away in the lead. Barely 5 minutes into the game.
Yeah, look, that should be sending alarm bells to the police players. They would just see the end of that try, and look, they need to just corner flag as soon as they see those numbers on the outside. You just try and get on the outside as fast as you can. Although Kandy did well, they needed to straighten up a little bit more. I thought they were going to run themselves out of room, as we see Jaya Wikrama. He's got a good little kick-off, and nice and high, and it just goes 12 metres, so that's contestable, but Kandy managed to take it down, so they'll be happy with that.
Yaqub Ali, being the first receiver, gives it out to Udangamur. Now available for Ratwate. Ratwate puts in a good kick yet again. High up in the air, contestable area. Police fullback does very well to get away from 2 defenders and gift away possession, because he kicks it out on the full. Take it down, wait for your man to come recycle that ball.
Yeah, or during the week practice your kick. That's another thing you can do. I remember watching, when I was a young boy, I used to watch Jeff Wilson warm up before All Black matches and before club matches in Dunedin. And before every game, he'd spend maybe 15-20 minutes just practicing little chip kicks and grubber kicks, and that's all he'd do all the time. And then in the game, he just looked like he was such a natural at it. So, you know, that's a point there for young players. Just practice those closed skills.
Yeah, once again, this time line out. Crooked throw, says Irshad Kader. Yeah, as you said, Paul, and the other thing is that this is the 3rd time that they've kicked straight into a touch, and which have costed about 60 meters in total so far for them, going backwards. And you have to be very careful when you're kicking against Kandy as well. You have Richard Dhamapala, Tilna Vijay Singh and Nando the Wilwer at the back, and Nigel Ratwat does back as well sometimes, and that's a fabulous counter-attacking option to have in any team. And if you're going to kick, you need to find touch in a proper way. If you're outside the 20, to find grass and roll into touch, not to kick into these hands of these hard and fast runners.
Steady.
As we see police, they're just starting to attack. Penalty just came around a little bit too quick. He's meant the halfbacks, they've got to just stay behind the ball. But I actually think, as far as kicking's concerned, more worrying than this territory that they're losing, it's giving away possession. You give Kandy possession, you know, sooner or later they're going to score against you. They've played for 5 minutes. They've played for 7 minutes now, and they've already scored a try. And here, there's a kick, another wayward kick. It doesn't find touch. It's a pretty basic error.
Absolutely unforgivable that time. You've gotten a penalty. You've gotten an opportunity to get into the red zone of Kandy and you don't find touch. And these are conditions that you're used to as well. And the only way you can beat Kandy is, like Paul mentioned, is to starve them of possession. If you starve them of possession, that will frustrate them, because they're a team who are very much used to dominating possession and making work with it. Police this time.
So this is an area where Police do well. They've got a really well-structured rolling maul. We saw that last week against Havelocks as well. And here they go. Look, they've just made 10 metres from that. And look at the great body position, that they're all together. As they stop, they drop a little bit lower. Now their backs, they need to straighten up a little bit. They spread it all the way out to the wing. Police look like they have a man over. They get to the 22, but go into touch.
Good cover defense by Richard Dharmapala, but seems like Police come away with the ball. Interesting there. Interesting replay to be viewed. Here you go, Richard Dharmapala. And the man coming in on the counter, Danushka Ranjan. Seems like the player going out has managed to get the ball to bounce off Danushka Ranjan. A little bit of basketball work going on there. Police, now what they'll want to do is they'll want to do the same thing, set up and make a good maul, because Kandy will be having the earlier maul at the back of their mind. Yet again, like Paul mentioned, a very good body positioning, advancing in, and there you go, they earned the penalty. The referee says bringing the maul down illegally. Jai Vikrama gives it out to his winger. Man on the outside, cutting back in very well down, changing of direction. Police Sports Club looking good with their possession. The players need to straighten things up, though they are cramping themselves for room. Putting in a little kick. Anuruddha Wilbara was very, very, very lucky that time. For a minute he took the eyes off the ball and looked at the man. And if the man who was chasing that ball went with an aerial challenge, that would have been very close.
Well, look, it might have been very close, but they had 2 players on that side. Kandy had 6 players defending. I don't know, you do the maths. 2 versus 6, what are you going to do? Why don't you come the other side with 13 players on the other side waiting for the ball, going to attack 8 or 9 players. So, you know, they need to play what's in front of them. What they do well is they do that rolling maul off a line out. Now, we all know that there's a school team that do that well, and they seem to manage to get championships. So Police can build on that. You know, there are one-dimensional sides that do well. These guys can do the same thing as well. What they need to do with their backs, though, they need to make sure that they run forward, and the guys that are running decoys actually need to take players out. They need to take if you're running a decoy, a defender has to stop and try and check and get you as the kick comes in. It's away to the left. It's unfortunate.
Yeah, very unfortunate, and just giving away 3 points, which was right in front of him, Sandesh Jayavikrama. Yes, Paul, as you said, they can take a league out of that school team which does that to win championships. Just play 10-man rugby and make use of your centres. Your wings will be starved without the ball, and you win games. That's all. It's simple as that.
Coach Shamli Nawaz, who is a very good man when it comes to the forwards play, I'm sure will take notes. And it does look like when it comes to structured play, Police are on the money. They know exactly what to do, but they are not committing people. So that's going to be very interesting how the Police approach will be. Here's the infringement. Great pressure put in by the skipper again, Gayan Veeraratne.
Steady.
He's a dream centre that you can ask for, as Surya Bandar feeds in for Kandy Sports Club. Ratwatte gives it to Veeraratne. Veeraratne, back of the hand pass, beautifully done to Danushka Ranjan, who's stopped. Now Heshan Silva barging through the middle. makes the ball available for quick play. Surya Bandara looking for a space. That time Dharmapala didn't read Surya Bandara's intentions that well. Ratwatte, a long cutout pass to Ranjan. Ranjan trying to straighten things up. Kandy has options outside, and referee Rashad Carter penalizes the Kandy player for losing balance, not supporting his own body weight on the ruck, says the referee. So Jai Vikrama with a chance yet again to gain some important yards, but Kandy looked like they were going through their motions.
Yeah, they were settling in, a couple of hits through the middle, using the wider channels to gain some meters. Again, Srinath Surya Bandara for once took the wrong option. This time the kick once again not going into touch. Here's Tilna Vijay Singh. It's very dangerous. Kandy on the counter attack. Just takes the ball past the 50-meter mark. Srinath Surya Bandara.
Tarindu
Chaturanga.
Chaturanga taking the ball, and now Ratwatte gives it to Gayan Veeratna. Gayan Veeratna tries to offload and finds a policeman. Referee playing advantage, interesting. But no advantage that time, but this time it will be a loss forward.
Touch. This side ball. Here.
Kandy coming away with it.
Touch. Come down.
And around the wickets, a detailed analysis into cricket will be brought to you by Roshan Abesinger. So do join us on www.thepapare.com as the Sri Lankan team is set to start their tour 2 in India next week. And we are eagerly hoping for a different result from the last one. It was a bitter experience having to be on the receiving end of a complete whitewash.
Yeah, 16th is the first match. I have a feeling that we'll at least pull off one. 2-1 won't be a bad result after going 3-0 down, and playing in India is not easy.
Trust me, mate, we all have that hope before the game starts. We really do hope that it will come true this time, and as Kandy goes barging through, Bhuvanek Udangamo carrying the balls very strong. Ratwatte to Vijay Singh, who is castled and drops the ball to Police. Police so far have managed to make sure that they've kept a lid on Kandy's backs, cramping them for room. They're not. They're doing very well on their defensive structure.
Or line out. You have to keep the
Look, you can see how dangerous Kandy are as we see a replay, and it's the pressure from the forwards, from the Police defensive line that comes up and puts pressure on and forces that that ball onto the ground. But you can see that every time Kandy have the ball, whenever someone has the ball in their hands, they threaten the line. So this is an area where Police can take a note out of that book. And also last night we saw that Air Force could also have a look at something like this, because when their players, they have the ball and they're attacking the line, they don't actually threaten the player in front of them, and that's the problem that they have with their backs.
Breaking from the back was Sajid Seram, who's been smashed in the contact by the Kandy defenders. Now Kandy come away with possession inside the Police 22. This could be bad news for the Cops. Yaqub Ali
Stay.
deciding to go himself. Now Ratwatte to Veeraratna, gives it out to Vijay Singh, who creates a brilliant running angle. Richard Dharmapala, can he finish it?
Tackle, now release.
Inches away from the try line is Dharmapala.
Offside.
Now the Kandy forwards will look to finish the good work by the backs, keeping it close to them. Ratwatte is eager for the ball. Ratwatte gives it out to Vijay Singh, shows and goes, and he will score the second try of the game. And Vijay Singh, I believe, is now the highest point scorer of the league with those 2 tries coming in. He's overtaken Reza Mubarak.
Yeah, look, Reza had a forgettable night there with the boot last night. He had missed 5 conversions. I spoke to him after the match. He says he's never done that before in his life. He's taken those boots that he had last night and taken them home and burning them. But we saw there as Kandy attacked, they had another 2 numbers on the outside. So that was always going to be a try. But you saw ThePapare, his strength that after he's come back from the Sevens program. Actually, all the Sevens players at the moment are coming back and they've got something different about them. Maybe it's their fitness or it's their attacking lines or the confidence they now have. I'm not sure, but whatever they're doing in that national program, they're doing it well.
Yeah, I think we spoke this about this during the Sevens, how hard Nick Groove was working with them. And as the season progressed, here's the replay once again. Look how lovely hands there before that, and Tilna Vijay Singh just stretching and touching it down for his second try of the game for Kandy Sports Club. They are conditioned very well, and these are the results that will come out, and hopefully this will continue, and they'll work off the Sri Lankan squad as well, and when they come back to the Sri Lankan squad, they'll keep the same level of fitness and conditioning as well going in, as Police will restart. They are playing with the wind with them, and they need to use this in the first half. Just about 20 minutes more to go, 22 minutes more to go on the clock.
Look, I don't want to go on about the kicking of Police and how lamentable their kicking's been so far today, but twice they've missed touch from a penalty, and we know how dangerous their rolling maul is. So, they're real opportunities, and they don't come along a lot. So you've really got to take advantage of those opportunities, and during the week, I'm sure the Police will work on that kicking for touch as well.
Absolutely, and you got to make sure that those kicks find touch when the wind is with you, because later on in the game it's going to be even more difficult.
Bind!
Now Police back in the Kandy territory.
Keep head from here. This side.
At the back of Nigel Ratwate's miss in that collection.
Great! Bind!
Police backs off your screen, gentlemen, are
Steady, Reds.
quite flat. 8-9 move. Sandesh Jayavikrama shows and goes, looks for support, nobody around him to offload that ball.
Stay back. Tackle!
Police have looked secure with their ball handling,
Release! No hands!
but like Paul mentioned, what they are lacking here
Watch!
is that penetration. Referee playing advantage to Police. What will they do now? A drop kick attempt comes in. Interesting
Number
kick
23.
that.
Second offense. Number 23.
Very generous comment. Look, the rush defence from Kandy is very good, so they put three defenders up really quickly. So the way that you're going to handle rush defence is you either have a little tip on, you let the players let the defence come to you. You either tip on the outside or you tip on the inside, and then as soon as you've made a tip on, you've got to attack that player that's going into contact. If you can turn that ball over quickly, then you have an opportunity. Because the defensive lines come so quick, it's difficult for them to now realign, and before they reset, you turn that ball over quickly and you're going to attack close to the ruck, and then that's how you take care of a rushing defence.
Jayavikrama now with this second opportunity to put 3 points on the board. Kandy's gotten 12. And if Sandesh is successful this time, it will be the first points on the board for Police Sports Club in this season. Thank you very much. There you go, the first points. And Police Park erupts.
Look, they'll be happy to break that duck, and they'll want that to keep on rolling. So what they need to do now is they need to concentrate on exactly what they have to do as far as controlling the ball from the kickoff. I've seen a lot of kickoffs in the last 2 weeks that haven't been handled well as far as reception's concerned. So the goal here is to receive the ball and then get the ball back into the opposition half.
Here's the restart once again. Police are trying to take the ball into contact.
Run away! Stay back! Stay back!
Just outside the 22 they come. As
Tackle
Gomez
release! No ruck ball!
using his forward still, not going to the boot. Sandesh in the pocket, needs to get this right, puts it right up in the air. Under it is Andrew De Vilvera, takes it cleanly, pushes off his own player, steps inside Andrew De Vilvera, very dangerous. on the 40-meter mark of the opposition, and police have managed to turn over this ball. And once again they put the kick behind. Srinath Surya Bandara tracking this behind, and he pushes it back, and a great opportunity for police. He has opened the field, Brooks away for Police Sports Club, a lovely offload. And just outside the 22 they come.
Stay.
Police through Manoj Silva. Taken into contact by Danushka.
Stay.
Gomez looking for options. Takes the ball into contact once again. Police just outside the 22. They need to go away with points. There's the skipper Silva taking the ball into contact once again. Gomez. Forwards trying to work close there. Shanaka Harishchandra taking the ball into contact. Here's Romesh Acharige. A lovely running line by the skipper Rasit Silva. Inside the 22 they come, the policeman trying to spin the ball out. Sandesh Jayavikrama putting the kick behind. A perfect bounce will get them a try. So close, police releasing the ball and holding on. Gomez a bit too slow to the ruck. Good pressure put on by Kandy Sports Club. Gomez had to keep the ball with him now.
Stay back.
This Danushka Edirisuri taking the ball into contact. Into the 5-meter mark the policemen go through Wajid Faumi.
Use it.
Very close, the policeman inside the 5-meter mark now. Kandy desperate in defense. Playing it very slow, Kandy. Police
Stay back.
trying to use their forwards, going inch by inch.
Number three, stay back. Stay back.
Here's police trying to put a lot of pressure once again. Still inside that 5-meter mark.
Number 3, straight.
Here's the skipper,
Tackle.
Rashid Silva.
Stay back.
Now,
Police have opted to keep it close to each other.
Straight. Number 6.
They've got the numbers now. Now going to the back line. There is overlap. Decides to keep the ball with him, the fullback. But the number 12 for police, Guru Singh, is smashed in the tackle. Police holding on to possession for a good amount of time. Unsettling Kandy. Now you can see it's not the same defensive line. They look a little rattled. Going for that drop kick yet again, and this time it looks good. So Utpal Edirisinghe, second time lucky. They go away with 3 points. They will be very happy because there were very good work done with that phase of play, and they are going back with points.
yeah, exactly the same position. He did a couple of drop kicks during warm-up, Utpala, and as you said, so much practice just slotted in between outside the 22 as Kandy have kicked this ball very quickly off that restart. Now Sandesh once again, 2 big hits on him. Here's a great opportunity for police once again to come back. They put the kick behind Richard Damapala. He takes it, has Tilna Vijayasinghe with him. Richard Damapala stepping off 1, stepping off 2, gives the ball outside to Gayan Veeraratne. Veeraratne pushes off 1, a lovely offload, and Tilna Vijayasinghe will score his 3rd. What a comeback from the Lions, from the Hills capital.
Hat-trick for Tilna Vijayasinghe. Before this try, he had 25 points and was the highest point scorer of this league. 30 points with that try. Tilna Vijayasinghe striking back straight away. But all credit to Gayan Veeraratne. What brilliant work by Gayan Veeraratne. Took 2 men, straightened things up, ran a very good line of support for Richard Dharmapala, and made sure that the continuity was there for that Kandy counter-attack.
Yeah, well, you saw the Kandy counter-attack came from, and it came from police kicking the possession away once again. That 2 men, that a man extra on the outside, instead of drawing and passing and putting that last man away and then giving an opportunity to attack the last player, the last line of defence, the player kicked the ball away, and then all of a sudden, 30 seconds later, there's a try against them. You know, that's an area that they need to have a look at, where the review on Monday, when they do a video review, they should be able to look at that and say, what should I have done here? Where's the space? If I'd passed, we would have gotten more metres. We could have held on to the ball. I kicked the ball away. et voila, as they say in France. There's a try to the opposition.
Still Vijay Singh, concentration time for him. His third attempt at the kick, and he successfully slots in two. So all the points that has been scored today by Kandy is off till Vijay Singh so far.
Beautifully done by Vijay Singh. 32 points is his tally. Confirmation coming in from the man in charge of stats for this season, James Peris, confirming that Tilna Vijay Singh has gotten 32 points and is the top try scorer, and that's why hat-trick of tries, 2 of them converted, and Kandy just 1 try away from their first bonus point of the season.
Yeah, look, they were robbed of a bonus point by fading light last week. As police kick off once again. Player being tackled in the air. Referee Carter claims the man was up in the air and he was taken. It wasn't an actual contest for the ball. The player was taken out instead. So you said it felt like almost like a victory when police took the 3 points and they took the drop goal. I actually thought that it felt like a victory to Kandy because they held them off. They were 1 metre away from their own try line, and phase after phase after phase of everything that police could throw at them, they couldn't breach the line. And so I felt actually that was a win for Kandy, that the best option for them was to take a kick.
23 points to 7, Navy leading against Sia down at London Place. So that's a very interesting game. I thought it'll be more closer than that. Navy coming on top of the first 40, 23 points to 7 against Sia.
That's going to be an interesting result because Sia and FC had a lot of hope on that young lineup, whereas Navy had to bank on some veterans and new blood yet again, because a lot of players from Navy had gone for greener pastures this season. That's a very rare miss by Surya Bandara. A lack of concentration costing Kandy of possession.
Yeah, look, that was a little skill execution there that didn't go quite right. His feet and his body started moving before he had the ball in his hands. Watch here, you see his feet just start moving away before he had possession. So they're a young halfback, if you're watching that. The skill is the ball has to go into your hands, and then you move your weight from your right foot to your left foot, and then move away with the body.
So police will be looking to pounce on that mistake. Make sure to hold on possession, because so far they've done well. What they haven't done very well is penetrating that advantage line. And with fumbles like that and giving possession to that man who seems to be in electric form today. Anuruddha Vilvara taking the ball into contact. Surya Bandara now out to Tharindu Chaturanga, who takes the ball into contact. Surya Bandara to Uchit Jayasundara, who's still on his feet, pumping his knees. Ratwate to Gayan Veeratna, show and go. Back of the hand pass, brilliantly done Gayan Veeratna. Second try he's created in fancy fashion, and Richard Dharmapala touches down. Brilliant work by the skipper.
Yeah, that's right. Well done, Sonny Bill Williams. That's straight out of his playbook, wasn't it? Stood up high in the tackle, got his hands free, went half through the hole. Richard Dharmapala, he's 5-10 metres out from the try line. It's very difficult to stop anyway. But the little out the back of the hand, as we see the replay here, we see Guyan as he just goes through that hole, holds one player up, and then flicks it out the back. It looks like it's a chancy pass, but they practice this week in, week out, and that's not a chancy pass. They hit them all the time.
If you can see that replay once again, how Danushka Ranjan tracked those defenders off, because he was standing at second 5 and Gayan Veeratna on the outside at centre, and Danushka Ranjan came around at the back. That made the defence confused. The wing had to come up in defence, and then Richard Dharmapala was all out alone on the outside. So there were 2 options for Gayan Veeratna: just to pop off to Danushka Ranjan, who was coming at pace, or just to give that ball on the outside to Richard Dharmapala, which he did. And So that they're creating a lot of opportunities, a lot of options out there in that back play. That's what making them so good.
Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier as far as that conversion was unsuccessful, didn't quite make it to the post. That's what I was talking about earlier as far as backline's concerned. When you're playing here, players, they just they make themselves a danger by challenging defenders when they don't have the ball and when they do have the ball. So we'll notice when police have their backline coming, one their skill execution isn't good enough for them to throw a pass that's in front of the man, and that's letting them down at the moment. But the running lines that they're running, they aren't actually, when they don't have the ball, they're not challenging the opposition.
Okay, use it.
There's been a substitution. Kasun Suranga coming in place for Utpal Idrisinghe, the fullback. Buwana Godangamua managed to collect it behind his jumper who was going for the ball. Yaqub Ali taking the ball forward for Kandy Sports Club. Nigel Ratwate will definitely put the ball to boot. And that's a very good touch. Oh, very well done to make sure that he doesn't go out on the full. But they will have to do better. Thank you very much, says Richard Dharmapala. He didn't move an inch to collect that ball. Tilna Vijayasinghe to Anrudha Velwara. Has Danushka Ranjan on the outside, but that wasn't a very good pass. Ranjan, however, manages to keep the ball in play. Thanindu Chaturanga takes it forward for Kandy. Surya Bandala to Ratwate. Gives it out to Vijayasinghe. Now Gayan Veeratne yet again. Has Richard Dharmapala. He's put him in space. Dharmapala has two men to beat and he will pass it out to Jason Disanayake. Two Sri Lanka Sevens players combining at the end, but yet again it was created by Gayan Veeratne, the skippy.
Yeah, look, I actually think that's created by the width that the team play. They hold their positions really well. Even though the passes aren't going to hand so much, we saw a reason why Willies plays on the wing and not at centre, because his pass isn't quite what it should be. But the ball went to the ground, they reset another ruck, they came back all the way on the other side. The ball went to ground again in the middle of the field, and still they had the numbers and the space, and they attacked the defenders, so that defenders have to make a decision. And then we see Jason. He's starting to come into a little bit of form. I think he just needs to play rugby, doesn't he?
Yeah, he just has to play rugby. Last season he didn't play club rugby. That's what let him down. This time is a lot more focused, a lot more running support lines. Running support lines are very good this time around. And once again, when you have players like, and that's a yellow card for Richard Dharmapala. Not sure exactly why it was. Will the try be aborted or reversed?
I saw what happened actually. So he was tackled as he passed the ball away. The police player just held on to him. Probably for a touch too long, but you know, it's a game of rugby. So Richard got something in a twist, and he took exception to it. He pushed the guy's head up when he was on the ground. It was unnecessary, and so he got a yellow card for it. I thought that was unnecessary as well, but you know, everyone's out there playing rugby. One player makes a tackle, he holds on to him.
Kick off.
The pass gets passed away. Your team's just scored a try. You know, there's no need to start getting all stroppy about it.
Yeah, here's that incident once again. If we just take a look at that. There is the offload. And Richard Dharmapala there.
Oh, well. Interesting there, because there was hardly anything. If at all, Richard was trying to get his leg off from that defender who was in love with Richard's legs at that time. But
not 10 meters once.
Harsh call.
Yeah, a bit of a harsh call, but not 10 meters once again. Police first time playing in their home ground. I think need to get their width and length correct. Kicks not going into touch, kicks going overcooked into touch, and this time restart also not going 10 meters, so something to work on for Shamli Nawaz.
Look, Danuk, there's no excuse. They practice here 5 days a week. They know exactly where the sidelines are. They know how to, there's no excuse. There's no excuse at all when you're playing at your home ground for not hitting the areas you need to hit.
You need to know where exactly all the potholes are, as well as Buneko Dangamur is on a charging run. The pass didn't go to hand, but Surya Bandara had the good sense to kick that ball. But the referee says the ball has been lost forward, so police will be breathing a big sigh of relief.
Well, I'd say their blindside flanker and the number 8 will be, because that's huge meters that number 8 shouldn't be making. That's one of their jobs, to make sure that the opposition number 8 doesn't pick the ball up and run that far.
I think Buneko Dangamur was holding on to the ball just too much, because he had the centres and the wing on the outside. Already created space, created that overlap. Couple of passes would have been another try for Kandy.
Podangiluku had the ThePapare, where it caters to all the younger age groups of Sri Lankan sport. Visit on www.facebook.com/ThePapare, the platform for everything that is young. And Tilna Vijay Singh, a little bit of a step, and can he go all the way, but has the good sense. I've scored my hat-trick. Jason, here you go, the second, says Vijay Singh, as he puts Tilna Vijay Singh, puts Jason Dissanayake into space, but seems like the referee says there was a loss forward. Interesting. Forward pass, says the referee. That replay will be for interesting viewing. But Jason Dissanayake, who thought that he had the double, has to work hard again.
Yeah, look, that was unlucky for Kandy. I thought that was good team play. He could have easily tried to go for the try line and score. And let's just see it, his hands go backwards. The ball might have floated a little bit forwards, but his hands looked like they went backwards to me. But
Yeah, we're
I'm not a quantity surveyor. Aaron Cruden wasn't there on that line.
Yeah, we're not playing in Wellington or Auckland. We're playing in Colombo, Paul. So yes, that's forward. As police now will try to get out of jail here. Now it's a good time to kick. They can kick wherever they want. Kick outside, kick out on the full. And Kandy trying to counter ruck and turn over ball. Yes, they have. As Srinath Surya Bandara now. Here's Kandy taking the ball into contact, just 5 meters into the try line. Once again they lose the ball, and picked up by Danushka Surya, who will come back hard at the Kandy defensive line. Here's Sandesh. Brings back play just outside the 22. And that will be half time here at Police Park. 31 points to 6. Kandy leading at half.
Kandy Sports Club managing to get the bonus point as well during half time, during the first half. But they've lost one player who's gone to, who's been sent to the sin bin. Dharmapala spending 10 minutes on that naughty chair. But a lot of things to address for Police Sports Club, as they've only managed to get 3 points off the back of a penalty and 3 points off the back of a drop kick. But they've made a change to their fullback, Dinuk, during that first half. Do you think it was an injury concern that warranted that change, or Shamli Nawaz wasn't clearly happy with his fullback play?
Not sure exactly why Utpal Edirisinghe came out, because he scored that drop goal. He looked composed at the back. Maybe, I don't know if he was, Shamli noted that he was doing that cover defense properly well, but with this kind of backline, it's very hard to track back and tackle your cover defense on that. Kasun Suranga, who has come in at 21 for Police, didn't look like that Utpala was injured. He was perfectly walking out. 31 points to 6, half-time score. And here's the highlights. Kandy scoring the first try. Dhanushka Ranjan giving the ball in space to Anuruddha Vilvara, and Vilvara, a lovely inside pass back into Tilna Vijayasinghe. That was the first of his 3 in the first half. Tilna Vijayasinghe scoring that try for Kandy Sports Club. This was his second. Vijayasinghe once again stepping off his left foot and stretching to score the second. After so much hard work inside the opposition half, he converted his own try as well. Here's Police Sports Club trying to make something. And they got their first points through Sandesh Jayavikrama's penalty. And then the drop goal by Utpala Edirisinghe was substituted just before half time by coach Shamli Nawaz, has brought in Kasun Suranga at the back. And this is Gayan Veeraratne, lovely inside ball to Vijayasinghe, who scored his third. The first 3 tries for Kandy Sports Club were scored by Tilna Vijayasinghe, and he converted 2 of those. And this was one heck of a pass by Gayan Veeraratne to Richard Dhamapala, and another one off to Richard Dhamapala, bouncing off one tackle. Had the presence of mind to give the pass inside to Jason Disanaka, who scored his first try, or rather the only try in the first half. The second was ruled out as a forward pass. Tilna Vijayasinghe slotting that one through. 31 points to 6 here at Police Park at the Police Band play. We'll get into a break and come back on the other side. 31 points to 6. Kandy Sports Club leading against Police Sports Club.
ඔබේ තරංගයන් සියල්ලම අපි ගාව හොඳ කලෙක්ෂන් එකක් තියෙනවා. ඡායාරූප පවා බොහොම හොඳ දේවල්. මම හිතන්නේ ඔබත් සමහරවිට දකින්නේ මම හිතන්නේ මේ දේවල් පපරේ හරහා තමයි ඔබ යම්කිසි අදහසක් ඒකට එකතු කරන්න පුළුවන්.
ඇත්තටම මම හිතන්නේ ලොකු සේවයක් කරන්නේ ශ්‍රී ලංකා ක්‍රිකට් ඒ වගේම අනිත් හැම ක්‍රීඩා තරගාවලියකටම මම හිතන්නේ මම දකින හැම වෙලේම ක්‍රිකට් විතරක් නෙමෙයි හැම දෙයක්ම කවර් වෙනවා මේ papare.com එකෙන්. ඒ වගේම ක්ලබ් මැච් එකක් පවා අපි සාමාන්‍ය හැම ප්ලේ කෙනෙක් මාසේ තමන්ගේ ෆොටෝ එකක් මැච් එක සෙල්ලම් කරන එකක් ලබා ගන්න. ඉතින් මම හිතන්නේ ලොකු සේවයක් වෙන්නේ ඒ වගේ ඒ කොහේ තිබ්බත් මැච් එකක් සාමාන්‍යයෙන් ඇවිල්ලා හැම මැච් එකකටම වගේ ෆොටෝ එකක් හෝ අනිවාර්යෙන් තිබෙනවා. ඉතින් මම සුබ පතනවා papare.com එකට මේ සේවය දිගටම කරගෙන යන්න කියලා.
It doesn't matter what you think. The first rule is trust yourself.
Fitness Diaries, in a mission to uplift the fitness arena in Sri Lanka.
සමහර විශ්ලේෂණයන් තියෙනවා. ඒවා සමහරලාවට හරියන්නත් පුළුවන්, වරදින්නත් පුළුවන් කෝසල.
ක්‍රිකට් කියන්නේ අවිනිශ්චිත ක්‍රීඩාවක් ධනුෂ්කයා. අපි දන්නේ නැහැ මොනවද සිදුවන්නේ කියලා. ගොඩක් දේ කතා කරන්න පුළුවන් පිටියෙන් පිටත. නමුත් සියල්ල සිදුවන්නේ පිටිය තුලදී.
පිටියේ ඈත මෑත කතා වෙන්න පුළුවන්, පිටියේ ඇතුලේ කතා වෙන්න පුළුවන්. ඒ ක්‍රිකට් විශ්ලේෂණාත්මකව ඔබට සම කරන්නට අපි සූදානම්ින් ඉන්නවා පිටියේ කතා තුලින්. රැඳෙන්න අපිත් එක්ක ThePapare.com ශ්‍රී ලංකාවේ ප්‍රමුඛතම ක්‍රීඩා වෙබ් අඩවිය සමග.
Huge amount of cricket fans out there. They look at things in so much detail. They demand detail much more than we have a video analyst for us. These guys want even more detail when it comes to reading about the game and understanding. So I think the papare.com provides all of that beautifully. So congratulations and well done to the papare.com, because for people like me and for millions of other cricket fans around the world.
technique, tactics, attack, defense, pattern. Back to the board, the rugby analysis.
What's happening here? The chance for
Scored the try for Kandy.
What a great tackle is made. Inches away from the line. Collects the ball clean.
You can see the crowd stuff blocked in.
Welcome back to the live telecast brought to you on www.ThePapare.com, Dialog TV Channel 1 and My TV. We're coming to you live from Police Park, Police Sports Club hosting Kandy. And there's been a change in the sides after the Lemons. 31 points to 6 is the story here at Police Park. And a quick update brought to you from the Longdon place. CRN FC have managed to get 14 points as Navy leads 23 points to 14 at London Place. Police yet again kicking back and gives it straight into the hands of Boneko Dangamur, who brings play back. Vijay Singh now putting the ball to boot. Very good recognition of space. Police on the other hand have been very disappointing with their kicking. Gan Virat, the standout man for Kandy so far. Surya Anthony taking the ball in front. Ratwate. Oh, that's a very good interception. Needs support. Desperately needs support. That looked like no arms tackle. You got to be very careful. Anuruddha Vilvara that time tackled, and assistant referee came out with the flag and decided that he'll put it back, has communicated it to the referee. Referee let play continue. Surya Bandara's kick has been charged by Police Sports Club. Kandy still with possession though. Surya Bandara now to Veeraratna. Beg your pardon, that time it was Chaturanga. Kandy opting to use their forwards before they go to their devastating backs. Now to the hands of Tilna Vijayasinghe, who puts the ball up in the air. Corrected with a fumble by Kasan Chaturanga. Kasan Suranga rather. Police now have players advantage, and there was a risky offload. Managing to collect it was Chandimal, Janit Chandimal. Kandy managed to turn it over, but hands on the ground, says the referee. Not supporting your own body weight. So Kandy penalized. Sandesh Jayavikrama need to make sure that he gets the ball out, and he does so. Maybe has earned 5 meters, but he's earned touch.
Yeah, that's right. They needed to find touch, and I'm sure they had a little word at the break. The coach Navas would have said to his players, let's make sure we do the basics well in the second half. and then we can build a game around that. This is the strength of theirs, Police, so this is an opportunity for them. They normally have a great set piece, and here they haven't. A little sneaky front of the line-out move, almost sneaked through, very close to the try line and very close to the sideline as well. They maybe got within 1 metre of the try line there, so well done.
Skipper Asit Silva that time. Here you go. He's been bundled into touch. Good work by Surya Bandara. But remember, Kandy Sports Club is still a man down. As you see the tiny yellow icon on top of Kandy Sports Club. Dharmapala had to leave the field. Kandy this time opting to go to their third pod in the line out. Very well set maul for them this time. Police have been the victors in that area so far this game. Battling through is Gayan Veeraratne, still on the move. What power on that man. Now Tilne Vijayasinghe coming around is Nigel. Anuruddha Vilvara cutting back inside. Too strong for the first tackle. The second tackler managing to get Vilvara down. Vijayasinghe acting halfback. Gives it out to Jason Disanayake. Disanayake carrying the ball in front. Now to Tarindu Chaturanga. Yakub Ali, beg your pardon. Ishan Silva going in. He wasn't supporting his body weight. And Yakub Ali was guilty of not releasing the ball as well. So Police Sports Club, lucky they managed to get away with that.
Lucky they managed to get away with that, but everyone at the ground here, they're lucky to be watching this, because this, as you're watching the replay, it's a big heavy contact there in the middle of the park. But what we saw there was a very confident Kandy team. 5 metres from their own try line, they throw to the third pod, number 6, high risk. Then instead of kicking it out, they run it, they take it again, they take it into contact, they go up through the middle, then they run it again, and they come all the way up to within 20 metres or 30 metres of the try line on the other side. So that's really confident play by them, and they're really showing all their skills to be able to do that.
With 31 points on the board, already having secured that bonus point, all the more reason why they can be even more confident. And interestingly, the skipper Veeraratne has been replaced by one of the Pereira brothers. Coach Vijayasinghe deciding that it's time he rested his front man. Ratwatte now gives it to Vijayasinghe. Vijayasinghe to Dayan Vusit. Now Tarindu Chaturanga, that looks like a necktie, but referee Carter lets it go. Nigel Ratwatte realizes there's nobody at the back, puts the ball into contact, a very good kick. But the receiver is smashed in the tackle by Yakub Ali. Nobody to cover Kasun Suranga though that time. And that could be a very high tackle, and yes, referee playing advantage to Police. And referee Carter will come back to that high tackle. He'll have a small chat with the assistant referee, will he? No, they deem it was accidental. That's the minimum sanction for an accidental high tackle. But if it was reckless, there should have been a yellow card.
Well, look, they penalised straight away if there was contact with the head straight away. But what we should note there is that the numbers that Police had on the left-hand side there, if they had taken that opportunity as they kick out there, which is a good thing from that penalty, if they'd taken the opportunity to spread the ball a little bit wider instead of taking it into contact, they would have made a lot more yards up the left-hand side. But also, if they'd cleaned out the ball properly and then moved the ball again quickly, there was also more space on the outside there. You see the contact with the head. His forearm came to the head. It might have been accidental. It looked like that was probably going to happen, and you should know that's going to happen, and that's why the penalty came. And then Police, their work at the breakdown there wasn't strong enough. So their body position's not low enough, their back's not strong enough, and they're getting taken out. So they need to make sure they work on that too.
Here's police through Acharya on that line out. Sandesh giving it to the hard running Lahiru Guru Singh at 12 for Police Sports Club today. Here's Acharya once again. He has carried a lot of ball today for police. Romesh Acharya. Now the ball comes out to Sandesh Jayavikrama. Good tackle, rush defense coming up. He has an opportunity now. Lahiru Guru Singh putting the chip behind. Tilna Vijay Singh tracking back for Kandy Sports Club. The ball bouncing and he's taken that back into in goal. It will be a 22-meter dropout. So police trying to put a lot of pressure on Kandy Sports Club. But once again, when they see that last line of defense, they're kicking it back. They're not trying to retrieve ball, Paul.
Well, in that case there, it was probably the right move. The cover defence was coming across and the space that was open for them was closing down very quickly. There was space at the back. The kick was just a little bit too far. But, look, that was a good option for them.
Kandy kicking that ball from the 22-meter mark, but now police with possession. Sandesh Jayavikram, something that all the police players are doing is none of them are running to the ball. Every single one of them are standing stationary when they're receiving the ball. There you go, exactly what I was talking about. They're flat on their feet when they receive the ball. Fresh legs on the park, the Anta Rukshan, the ball carrier that time. Halfback Hashan Gomes wanting his forwards to do the work. That time he was isolated, lucky to get away because he got pushed back. Jayavikram now gives it out to Guru Singh. Should have given it out, and referee now playing advantage to Police Sports Club. Will he? Yes, he reaches out to his pocket. Seems like the second yellow card comes in for Kandy. Anuruddha Vilwala, the man guilty of that offence, and he takes the turn of the winger going into the bin. Earlier it was Richard Dharmapala, now it's Anuruddha Vilwala. But with high tackles, the players need to be very, very careful. CRNFC is without their captain for 3 weeks for the dangerous tackle in the opening game. Here's a replay. Oh, that was very dangerous, right on the neckline.
Yeah, that's a rugby league tackle, straight from Australia. That's how they tackle in that game. That's not how we tackle in rugby. The target area is just above the knees, the bottom of the shorts. You knock someone there and they fall over straight away. So police have an opportunity here to use their most effective weapon, their rolling maul. But what I'd like to see police do is when they go into contact, instead of sending 2 and 3 extra men in, as soon as they see the ball's available, pick the ball up and go. That'll mean that they'll put more pressure on the Kandy defence, and they'll be able to get over the advantage line a little bit quicker.
Yeah, Kandy this time sucking that maul down, bringing it down safely. Here's Sandesh once again, taking the ball into contact. Another update coming up from London Place, 23 points to 21. So it has become closer, and it's getting closer. That's what we were expecting down at London Place. It's that close. As Sandesh now gives it out wide to his forwards, taking the ball into 22, the policeman.
Police Sports Club with possession. They need to build possession up, and taking the ball forward this time is Johnny Chanaka. Gomes. Yet again, seems like that was a slightly high tackle. Sandesh showing and going, and that time he managed to commit a few defenders. Ratwate trying to hold the man up. Gomes will try to get his forwards involved until Sandesh comes back to his place of first 5-8. Brilliant conditions here at Police Park, and all these pictures are brought to you by www.thepapare.com, Sri Lanka's #1 sports hub, as Police go searching for their first try of the season, to be honest, not only this game. Police #8, Sajid Serum rather, has been smashed in that tackle, but the referee has his arms up for advantage, and penalty awarded that's a high tackle yet again by the Kandy defenders. They need to be very careful with this discipline, because remember, if it's a closer game and you're going to have 2 players of yours in the bench, that's 20 minutes that you got to play with 14 men.
Yeah, that's right. That really tests your squad, tests their fitness, and also their game management. But I'm really liking what Kandy are doing in their defence. So they spread really well. They're not committing numbers to the breakdown. As soon as they've made a tackle, they spread and they set up their defence really quickly. We see referee Carter having a word, and I'm sure he's having a word about the height of the tackles. I think if they just go a little bit lower, and as I said, the target area should be just above the knees and below, just around the bottom of the short area. If they can do that, they'll have more of an opportunity to turn the ball over. And Kandy are making a lot of tackles at the moment. So, as we see the kick just going off to the right-hand side.
There you go. There was a huge gasp by all the police supporters. Sandesh Jayavikrama yet again losing out on
28.
a brilliant opportunity.
28.
And we get the word from Hisham Hamid, our writer, that Jayavikrama was unfortunate last week as well. He didn't have a very good outing with the boot. 2 kickable penalties were squandered at Havelock Park. Police need to make sure that they have that number 2 kicker that they can turn into, because Sandesh is now definitely under pressure, a lot of pressure. Jayavikrama tries to work the ball around, taking it forward. These
Play on.
Johnny Chanaka, and that's not a very good pass by Gomez. Kandy straight away pouncing on it, and Udangamu makes a miss on it of his own.
Yeah, look, I did like what Kandy did as soon as they turned the ball over there. The ball went to ground, and straight away they started moving the ball out to where space was, and space was on the outside. Sandesh, the number 10 for Police. Look, he's a very tidy player. There you can see the Kandy team, they move the ball straight away out to where the space is. He's having a great game, actually, the number 10 from Police. He's attacking the line. He's not always passing. He actually shows and goes a couple of times. So he'll develop into a very good player. He just needs to spend probably a bit more practice kicking. This is his home ground, so he can spend as many hours as he wants kicking here. He should know the conditions.
My left.
Jayavikrama though has been replaced by Syed Singawansa, former Zahirian. And Coach Nawaz knows exactly what Singawansa is capable of. And Singawansa knows exactly what Nawaz would want as a coach. But it's Kandy who come away with that ball, with Richard Dharmapala has now moved to the center position, and running circles around the Police defense is Danushka Ranjan. Brilliant try by Danushka Ranjan, individual brilliance, and he puts his hand up and says, Tilna Vijay Singh might have scored a hat-trick, but I'm still here.
Yeah, he is still there, and before the game everyone was talking about this, their second 23. Well, he's not in the second 23. He's probably one of the best players that are going around in Asia, let alone Sri Lanka. And he just showed how much class he has there. Before he had the ball, that's when you saw what the class that he had. So he had a player lined up against him. He changed lanes and made space for himself. So before he got the ball, he started working hard. He was explosive in that movement when he went out a little bit wider, and gave him an opportunity to get out wide. Here we see him, he's already got the ball. Makes one fend, a step, a fend, another fend. That's 3 players he's beaten. All at pace, and then this little bit of, am I playing 7s or playing 15s, where he dances around behind the try line.
And the other good thing is, Paul, every time you saw the ball movement from right to left, seeing the defender coming in front, moves the ball to his left, uses his right hand to fend off, then moves the ball to his right, uses the left hand to fend off. That's very good technique shown by Danushka Ranjan. So not only pace and the power that he has, he's thinking the way he sees the future of what he anticipates in the defenders that to come to score that try. As Tilna Vijay Singh, a slot sit between, a brilliant kick. And he has improved after that first miss. From there on, he has just picked up. And it seems like he's playing at Nittavella.
Absolutely.
31,
Tilna Vijay
15.
Singh adding on to his
31,
tally, and
15 off.
that was the second try by Danushka Ranjan.
31-15 off.
Second try of the season for him. Look at that.
15.
Once again, look at just before that, if you can see how he transferred the ball from left to right. He did that 3 times to push off 3 players. That's something the coaches will teach you in an early stage of their career, and Danushka Ranjan just doing the basics right.
Recently we spoke to Coach Sanat Maris, who said he thanked Danushka's initial coaches at Peliandra Central for teaching Danushka the basics, and he humbly, which Dinuk was just talking about, the ball transfer needs to be taught to you at a very, very early stage.
First release.
Kandy Sports Club yet again with possession. Like we spoke earlier on, it's the position that they like to dominate. Arshad Jamaldeen has come onto the field. Police with the counter now, throwing very long passes there. Janit Chaturanga, good run by him. Straightening it up for Police. Police still looking for that maiden try of this season.
Stay.
Kasan Suranga acting scrum off at that time, and Kandy Sports Club have come away with it. Tarindu Chaturanga was looking for someone to offload that to. Uchit Jayasundara now carrying the ball forward.
No hands.
Now to Anthony. Gives it to Bhuwana Kodangamua, who cuts back in. Back of the hand pass to Anthony. He gives it out to Richard Dharmapala. Dharmapala, one man to beat. And that's a good tackle on Richard Dharmapala, who manages to keep ball in play. Jamaldeen to Lasita Attanagoda. Attanagoda manages to offload to Shashika Jayawardena.
Roll away. Stay.
Tarindu Chaturanga now.
What?
Beg your pardon, that time it was Soiru Anthony. Ratwatte still on his feet, still pumping in his legs. Manages to get the ball out. Ganuka Disanayaka charging through. Kandy looking for their second try of the second half. Attanagoda is isolated. Kandy did very well that time, and referee card
Number 5
thinks that there was no advantage for Kandy. Though Surya Bandara straight away pounced on that ball and awards Kandy a penalty.
Well, there's looks of wonder in the commentary box, and there are looks of wonder down in the police players as well, as you see on screen there. Join Sabir for back to the board for all the technical and tactical analysis of the week on ThePapare. Ball just goes inside play and just stays in. It looked like it might have snuck into the dead ball area, but it wasn't. So it's a 5 metre line out to Kandy. Very dangerous times here for Police. See if they can defend this line out. So it's an opportunity now for Kandy to work there, driving more.
Okay.
Absolutely, they haven't had the necessity. And update coming to you from London Place. CRNFC 24 points to 23. They've taken the lead. They've taken the lead from Navy Sports Club. So everybody at CR will be on their feet, hoping for them to continue play,
25 off.
continue the lead.
20,
Referee Kada is
25,
getting
23,
instructions
32. Wait.
the sidelines.
23, 28.
Seems like there is a substitution that's
23,
coming
20.
in. No, there you go. Tarindu
23.
Chaturanga is the man being substituted.
23.
So here, as we look at the line out there, you can see it looks like they're going to go for a front pod. That's where they're set up at the moment. But is the back lifter at the front pod going to move to the person at the back? Will they throw to 4? Will they throw to 2? If they throw to 4, do they transfer the ball back into the channel up the front? So they have a little cuddle and talk about it.
Little bit of confusion on the sideline with the substitution. Tarindu Chaturanga thought that he was the one getting substituted, but no. Seems like the Kandy manager has handed over different number than he intended to be substituted. The man who
Number 8.
is at the sideline
Number
for Kandy, wanting to get on the park, is Disanayaka. I beg your pardon, Asita Ratnayaka, who's been replaced, who has replaced Udangamur. Now Kandy set up. Kandy trying to create that maul, but they have problems with players on their off their feet, and they're stopped inches away from the try line.
Stay back, stay back, stay back. Stay back.
Asita Ratnayaka, who's just made the field, carries the ball forward for Kandy. Surya Bandar to Shashika Javardhan, who wants to go himself, doesn't want to look for options. Jamaldeen. Now to Dayan. Dayan gives it out to Richard Dharmapala. Brilliant hands there. Nigel Ratwate stand and deliver and puts Lavanga Pereira in the try. Beautiful work done there. Brilliant skills.
Yeah, look, the alarm bells were ringing as soon as it went out past into the centres there for Kandy, but the hard work was done all at the front, all by the tight 8, the tight 5 and the forwards there. The line out wasn't crisp and wasn't perfection, but was good enough. As we have a look at the replay, as the ball comes wide, Richard Dharmapala, he takes the contact there, still gets the ball away, hands and pass. So early catch, ball transfers across his body, gets it out to the winger on the far side. It's a very basic skill, but it's one that's not practiced enough, and that's what happens when you do have that skill in your back pocket.
Yeah, if you see that play about 2-3 phases before, as you said, the line out was not that great, but then they used their pods, they used their forwards to hit that up. And at the right time, Arshad Jamaldeen called for the ball. Srinath Surya Bandara, with all his experience, gave that ball out. And that one moment of catch and pass of Nigel Ratwata, which created space to score that try. But all the hard work, as you said, Paul, was done by the forwards, and backs always get the credit of scoring the try.
Arshad Jamaldeen, the timer was not successful with his kick. Interesting though, his father, Nisam Jamaldeen, was one of the stalwarts of police rugby. And back in the day when Nisam Jamaldeen was playing, here you go, the replay, catch and pass by Nigel, beautiful stuff. And Lavanga Pereira just had to dive in for that try. Coming back to Arshad, his father, when he was playing for Police Sports Club, Police was a very hard team to beat, and Kandy struggled. I remember watching a game in Nithawela where Police managed to win the knockout semis against Kandy. But Kandy Sports Club, this is what they're doing, right? They're doing the basics, right? They are getting the ball to touch when they intend for it to go to touch, and catch and pass. Easily done.
Well, that was an excellent kick.
Number 6.
It was an excellent kick, and
One step off. One step off.
those little opportunities there are an opportunity for the kicker to show his class and show his wares, and that kick was, you couldn't have gotten more perfect. Maybe you could have peeled off a few more meters, but was right on the money.
Police now need to straighten up. They are cramping themselves, trying to run to the corner a little too early, but they managed to get a penalty in their bag.
We just cross over to CRNFC. As you can see, that's the score. 24 points to 23, 3 minutes to go on the clock. CR parked in the opposition half against Navy Sports Club. And here's Tarinder Ratwata running on the outside for CRNFC, and it looks like he'll score the winning try.
Oh, what brilliant timing here. Absolutely brilliant timing. Tarinder Ratwate doing it for CRNFC, but it's not here. We are back live on www.thepapare.com, coming to you live from Police Park, and that was a quick update brought to you from CRNFC. Tarinder seemed to have put CR well in front.
Another penalty there for Police. I'm not sure what that one was for, but
Pulling.
the skill execution, as I said, I spoke about earlier, the ball's not right where it needs to be from the passes, and young players out there, I can't stress enough how often you need to pass the ball. As the kick goes to touch, an excellent kick. They're 5 metres from the try line. So that's what you want from your kickers. You want them to try and peel off as many metres as you can and go for it. Why don't you go for the kick? And he went for it. He got it. They're 5 metres from the try line. There's 13 minutes, 12 minutes to go in their second game. And are they going to score their first try of the season?
Will they score the first try of the season is the question, because Police have come close. We all know that they have a very good working maul. And Sanushka Bevikrama, former Trinity schoolboy, gets his first appearance in the top division, the top leagues.
No.
As Surya Bandara
Stay back.
makes his way out, the coach has decided that he's done enough for the day. Police Sports Club still looking for that first try.
Stay back. One
They're
step back.
keeping it close to their
23,
forwards.
24.
It seems like they lost control of that ball.
But look at all the numbers of Police. They're just standing around. They might as well have a clipboard inspecting the ruck. They're just standing there looking at the ball or standing around talking about it. It's like they're waiting around the buffet table waiting for the meat to come out.
Roll away. Move back.
Paul clearly very not happy about the Police forwards conferencing behind. Yes, on the side, on the blind side, there are plenty Police players who can commit defenders if they come and stand in between the halfback and the fly half.
No, stay back.
It will have the defense guessing. But here, what they're doing is they're telling Kandy, listen, no need to worry. We are just going to keep it close to each other. But they're doing well to hold on to possession. Police gaining inch by inch. Finally have managed to score. And seems like the try scorer was the number 1 for Police, Hassan Fernando, the replacement prop forward who's come out. There you go. Young schoolboy playing his first league.
Well, look, he's done well there. You know, even though I got a little bit emotional about that, seeing the forwards standing around, and you can see them in the background, and he almost gets over there. And have another go, son. And he does. We don't call that rabbiting these days. I'm not sure what we call that, but that's called a try. He has one opportunity to place the ball once he's tackled. And so he can go forward, he can go back, he can do whatever he likes. But that'll do his confidence the world of good. But I would like to see Police, instead of all standing behind the ball and watching with their clipboards and inspecting the ruck, go and form a pod off to the side, and then that at least draws away some of the defenders.
Maybe they need to come out of their usual routine of inspecting and getting into action. That's what happens when you get a squad of policemen, isn't it?
Ruck inspectors, the word that was used by the legendary Highlanders coach when he was down in Sri Lanka. But Police now deciding to run from their own 22. They need to straighten things up. That's what they need to do. They're met with force by Danush Karanjan and Richard Dharmapala, but managing to hold on to the ball. Syed Singh once quick with his... Oh, he was very lucky to catch that ball. But Police will get a penalty for Kandy coming from the sides, not entering the ruck from the gate, says the referee.
It's 5 penalties in a row.
Touch.
And CRNFC have just trotted out a little bit of a gap. They've gotten the score out to 38 points to 23 over Navy. That's right, 38-23.
As Police Sports Club yet again kicked that penalty right into the hands of Lavanga Pereira, who's brought it back to where it was kicked from. There'll be The coaching staff will be pulling their hair out.
Number 22.
But police
22.
given a replay. They can try and do that yet again or try to find touch this time.
Maki. Here.
Lahiru Guru Singh the man this time. There you go. Take a look at the replay.
Ooh, that's a pretty hard penalty. Didn't look like there was anyone there, but he just needs to lift his head up at least and look for the opposition to see when they're coming in. But, you know, that's penalty number 6 in a row for Kandy.
Now police with the line out. Yet again, very good body position. Plenty of replacements have come in, but they've been in the circle. They know what they want to do. Kasun Suranga now playing half-back for police.
No, rock ball, down rock ball.
Very good safeguarding work done there at the ruck. Despite the pressure put in by Kandy Sports Club. Kasun.
Release, no rock ball.
To Rukshan Dayanta. Hashan Silva is isolated. Absolutely no one to support him.
No rock ball. Stay back.
Ricardo letting it go. He was holding on to that ball.
Stay number 3.
Police now opting to go out. Lahiru with the ball carrier.
Release, no hands. Stay back.
So police just have so many numbers around the ball. You know, they've got 4 players out on the right-hand side. They've got 2 players on the left-hand side. Kandy win a lottery and they managed to get one of the penalties go their way. And they go the funny side as well. They've got 3 players on that side. There's 1 player out that side, but they still shape it that way and make meters.
No. Hey,
very well done by Uchit that time. Kandy now spreading it wide. Jamal Induratwatte to Richard Dharmapala, who cuts back inside. Running across his Dharmapala, gives it to Shashika Javardhana. Goes into contact alone. And that time referee was right on the money, right on spot. Shashika Javardhana should have sent it out.
Full-time score of CRNFC. There you go, 38 points to 23. The player of the match, Tarin Ratwata, and Navy have not scored in that second half. It's just all CRNFC at London Place have nailed this down against the Sailors.
So they'll have to record that halftime speech by the coach because what they did in the second half, they came out and they really went for it. But I heard from CR, there's a lot of talk about that team, and they're saying that they're a very fit team. And so they played the full 80 minutes, and their Navy really felt the force of that fitness.
Interestingly, from the little bit that we managed to see, Tarinder Ratwata was still wearing that number 13 jersey. So this time around, it seems to have worked for CRNFC, him getting the player of the match citation. Oh, that's a costly miss. Arshad Jamaldin uses his footballing skills. But to the rescue of police is Kasun Suranga, who manages to fetch that ball and go back into contact. Seems like Kandy have managed to turn that ball over. Danush Dayan. Now to Richard Dharmapala, who's playing in the center. Danush Karanjan is tackled that time.
Stay.
Dharmapala. Shashika Javardhana.
Release. Stay.
Ball just out ahead of the Kandy player there. I'm not sure who it was that was getting it, but it was just dropping. It was like he was at second slip and the ball was just dropping in front of him, and he just couldn't get his hands there. He reaching out, just got a fingertips to it.
Three
Unfortunate.
So get your event covered by the experts in sports photography for a budget-friendly rate. The PapAre Ride, derailing the lighter side of sports. Inform your event to 0777 822 777, or alternatively, you can
Number 4,
email us
blue.
on
Number 4,
info@thepapare.com. That's
Five, number
0777
5, 4,
822
off.
777,
Oh,
or
then
you can email us on info@thepapare.com. And with the clock coming to 77 minutes, Paul, it's time
Okay.
for us
It's
to
okay.
decide
Let
on
me substitute.
the man of the match award. Definitely will go to a lad from the Hill Capital, with Kandy throwing the ball in, not cleanly collected. They've lost the ball forward, so police are determined to not give them that 50-point mark. We've seen some very good performances from Kandy, but one player that stands out for me personally is Gayan Veeraratne, the skipper.
2 more minutes.
Although he was substituted early at the start of the second half, he was a standout player. But there is Richard Dharmapala, who's now moved into the skipper's position, who's been all around the park, and also maybe Dhanush Ranjan. But we didn't see much of Dhanush Ranjan, and Dilna Vijay Singh, who scored a hat-trick, although he's not in the park currently. Difficult call, Paul. Who is your man of the match?
I think Guyani, every time he touched
No,
the ball,
no,
he
no,
showed class. Even when he didn't have the ball, he showed a lot of class when he was defending. He put a lot of pressure on. As police just clear their lines there. They've done well there, though. They've gotten outside their 22 from that kick behind their own try line. So every time Guyan touched the ball,
Number 10 off.
when he
Number
didn't touch
10.
the ball, he was all class.
Number 10 off. Reds.
Areas in the
Reds
in
10
shot
off.
there. I thought Richard Dharmapala also played well. Every time he touched
Number
the ball,
two,
he
number 2 out.
did something special as well. And that's the second week in a row he's done that too.
So, Dinuk, do you agree with that call of Gayan Veeraratne being the man of the match, despite him missing out a large part of the second half?
Yeah, 100%, because he created,
Wait.
let's say, 30 points out of the 43. And he set the game up at 60-minute mark. He had led the team to victory at the end of 60-minute mark, and having a
Number 10.
deserved rest
Number 10 off.
outside Gayan Veeraratne.
Oh, yeah,
And as
two.
Paul said, I
Number
agree
2 yando
100%. Every time he touched the ball, he created something. It's not who scores, it's the one who
Number 10,
creates
number 10
tries
off.
is more important in the game of rugby, and who works off the ball, and the tackles. And that first
1, 2,
kickoff
3,
that
4,
he
5,
chased
6,
down
7, 8,
off
9,
that
10,
kick
11,
was,
12, 13,
he
14.
just set the example there. I'm going to lead from the front. No matter what team we are playing, we are going to play this hard and fast. So much deserved man of the match for the skipper, Gayan Veeraratne, and he'll be very happy with that as well.
Absolutely. Player of the match for today, Gayan Veeraratne, although he's up in the bench. And this is going to warrant
5-4.
the new man who's just made to the field, Amit Dissanayake, take the ball. And he receives it in a different fashion from Shanushka Bevikrama. Dharmapala now to Ranjan. Dhanushka Ranjan serving his options, take the ball into contact. Dharmapala acting halfback to Shashika Jayawardena, who's still on his feet, pumping his feet. Good carry by Shashika Jayawardena that time. Abhay Vikrama goes out to Attanagoda, not a very good pass to a prop forward especially. You need to make sure that it's in a very catchable area. Now to Jamaldeen. Gives it out to Richard Dharmapala. Dharmapala wanting the Anushka Ranjan to cut back inside. And that will be the end of the game. Not the fashion that Dharmapala or Ranjan would have wanted to finish it. But Kandy are denied 50 points by Police Sports Club. They've managed to get their bonus point, which they couldn't in the first week. But Police Sports Club have a lot of problems to address.
Yeah, look, they do have problems to address. They've got a couple of things that they can work with, though. They've got a great driving maul, although from a line-out, although they didn't execute it as well as I would have liked. They've got a lot of improvement around clearing the ball from the rucks, and also attacking from ruck ball. Their kicking can improve. So those are areas that they can go away and they can have a look at and come back next week and make vast improvements. As far as Kandy's concerned, where do they go next? Like they just showed class right across the paddock. You got forwards making huge runs. I like seeing small numbers 1, 2, and 3 doing little dummies, and then taking a little step, and that's close in contact. So they're making metres in the hard yard areas, up Fat Man's Alley right up through the middle of the park. On the outside, you've got so much class. They run straight, they draw players. They draw players when they don't have the ball, they draw players when they do have the ball. They're a threat all over the paddock. They move the ball from one side to the other. They've got a great kicking team. You know, it's difficult to fault them at the moment, and when their tails are high, they're a dangerous prospect.
That's the full-time confirmation. 11 points to 43. Kandy getting one of the big wins, and unlike last week, they did look like they were settled, very much settled today. And yes, Paul did mention, there was class all around the park. Kandy was basically showing all the depth that they have in their squads. Take a look at the second half highlights. Danushka Ranjan started out the scoring. Brilliant work. And that was the transfer Dinuk was talking about. Left to right, right to left. Little bit of a turn. Asking Singamansa to come and try and challenge that. Dilna Vijayasinghe, although did miss the first and the second kick, got back on to this is the second try of the second half. Brilliant work, isn't it, Dinuk?
Yeah, that catch and pass from Nigel Ratwath was fantastic. Just off one motion that he just caught the ball, perfect hands, just showed the entire palm to the ball, took it downwards and just gave it on the other side. And Police first try for them of the season, and a very proud moment for that. He worked so hard for them. And so overall, it's Kandy Sports Club who came on top today. Half-time scores 31 points to 6. Gayan Veeraratne, the man of the match, 43 points to 11. How that finished? 7 tries against 1, 4 conversions off the boot of Dilna Vijayasinghe, and Utpala scoring a drop goal, and Sandesh Jayavikrama scoring a penalty for Police Sports Club. So overall, it's Kandy Sports Club who once again have run away. This time they would be much satisfied than the last game, because they've scored 7 tries and they've scored something in the second half as well.
Absolutely, they'll be very, very much happy, because they've tried out a lot of players as well. Sanushka Bevikrama coming in place of Surya Bandara. He's a very, very young player who's come in for Kandy Sports Club, so they will be very much happy. And that's it on ThePapare.com for today from Police Park. It would be a great pleasure bringing you these pictures from Police Park, and as you know, everything that is rugby is presented on www.thepapare.com. So stay tuned as we will review all this action that happened during the weekend through Paul Toya's very special segment, and also with Shana Kamarasinghe bringing to you action on the breakdown. So I'm Sudarshan Apiri signing off for ThePapare.com alongside Dinuk Bhaskaran and Paul Toya, the production team, and ThePapare.com technical and the content teams. Until next time, sharing the passion.
Way down we go, so way down we go, way down we go. Oh, you let your feet run wild. Time has come as we all go down. Yeah, but for the folk, my heart. Do you dare to look her right in the eyes? Yeah. Oh, God say we run you down to the door. Yeah, someday we run you down till you fall. Oh, and they will run you down till you fall. Yeah, till you can't grow no more. And we're down. Down.